Mr. Allen was asleep and facing away from you when you shot him.
No, sir.
All right. What I want you to do is to explain to the court how you have a gun in your purse on the nightstand, correct?
Right.
You don't want to do this. You don't want to be here. So you felt like if you tried to leave, he would harm you.
Right.
And your belief in that is based on the fact that he told you he had some guns and he's a sharpshooter.
Not only that, but the way
also,
he was acting.
Well, all I know about his activities is what you've told us, and that's really all we'll ever know, Miss Brown.
Right.
Since you killed him, the only thing we know is that he took you to Sonic. He bought you food. He took you home. You used his bathroom. You felt comfortable doing that. You ate with him. You felt comfortable doing that. You sat on the couch and watched TV with him. You felt comfortable doing that. You got in the bed and at least one time went to sleep while he was there. You felt comfortable doing that.
I never went to sleep.
And you guys have got to be strong.
The tale of Susan Smith and her missing children captivated and horrified the nation for 9 long days. She claimed a black carjacker drove off in her Mazda on a dark South Carolina road, the 2 toddlers strapped in the back seat. The search expanded nationwide as Smith and her estranged husband, David, pleaded for their return.
Your mama loves you so much, and your daddy, these whole families love you so much.
Susan Smith has been arrested and will be charged with 2 counts of murder in connection with the deaths of her children, Michael 3 and Alexander 14 months.
Smith confessed to rolling her car into a lake while the boys slept in their car seats. She said she'd intended to kill herself in part over a failed love affair and wanted her boys with her so they wouldn't suffer without her. But she didn't carry through on the suicide, and letters revealed the former boyfriend had told her he was not ready to be a father to her children. And so a town and a country that had ached for Michael and Alec's safe return wept with loss and betrayal.
Her hair was all crazy. Her mascara was all runny. She looked like she had been in a struggle.
Aurora and the girls are angry they've been ditched. Bjarne feels cornered and doesn't know what to do. Tensions are high. And then,
Out of nowhere, she lashed out at me.
We got into a physical fight, which I started it.
the fight is an out-and-out brawl. The girls even cracked the windshield.
And this is totally out of character for her.
Totally out of character.
This is not how she is.
No.
Aurora is furious and stunned, but the mood changes when Bjarne explains why she's acting this way. She says something terrible happened with the stranger in the back of the van.
He pulled off my pants. He was hitting me, and he raped me.
They drive Bjarne to this hospital. She relays her account to the staff there, and they perform a rape kit.
Did you rape Bjarne?
Of course not.
Did you assault Bjarne?
No, I did not.
Did you give her any reason to believe that you were a threat to her?
Not at all.
Supporting McCaffrey's claims, the rape kit comes back negative. If it comes down to a he said, she said, the cops are probably going to accept what she said. McCaffrey maintains his innocence up and through the trial, even taking the stand to defend himself. Bjorny maintains his guilt, and almost solely on the basis of her emotional testimony, the jury votes to convict. The sentence, swift and severe.
They told me he got convicted 20 years.
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 Solely on the basis of her emotional testimony, the jury votes to convict.
I told the priest that there was somebody in jail because I lied. I said he raped me when he didn't. I lied. I said he raped me when he didn't. I don't know how that lie became so big. I don't know why. I don't know. I didn't want to say it didn't happen because I thought he wasn't going to be convicted because there's no evidence. I thought he wasn't going to be convicted because there's no evidence. I thought he wasn't going to be convicted because there's no evidence.
To lie about something like this and send a man to jail makes Bjorny seem like a very bad person. Why is that not a fair appraisal?
It is a fair appraisal if you just look at this thing superficially.
Beneath the surface, says Callan, there's a lot from Bjorny's past to explain her behavior. She's originally from a broken and abusive home in the Dominican Republic.
She was essentially abandoned by her own family and grew up largely in the streets. Her psychological situation is very, very different from the average person's.
Callan says with few solid relationships, Bjorny was terrified of losing her friendship with Aurora, the big sister figure with whom she'd had that fight. A fight which he says is the key to understanding the whole story.
She was just mad at me.
But when you told the lie to her the first time, that night, she was then not mad at you anymore.
She was not mad at me anymore because she felt sorry for me.
And you wanted that.
And that's what I wanted from the beginning.
She viewed this group of friends as her family. And many people tell all kinds of lies and do all kinds of terrible things to keep in good stead with their families.
Were you able to establish a rapport, and were you able to get additional information from Cyntoia?
Well, yes, I had a good meeting with her. We met for 2 hours, and she talked a great deal about her life and about the offense. Her biological mother side of the family is extremely heavily loaded with psychiatric disorders.
Bipolar personality disorder, suicidal, manic depressive, which is an guarded condition. At times I've had homicidal thoughts for people that have hurt me. I've been raped, and I've always, wanted to do things to them for hurting me. And
Let me ask you this. You've actually attempted suicide in the past?
yes, ma'am.
What does this tattoo on your arm say?
Suicide.
And Dr. Burnett will address, but is there a history of suicide throughout your family, actual suicides?
Yeah, my mom shot herself in front of me when I was in 2nd grade. Her sister, which is my aunt, just killed herself with a shotgun. My grandpa, he shot himself in the head. My Aunt Shirley, she's tried to kill herself God knows how many times.
So that's the half having to do with genetics. The half having to do with early development is, I guess, is interesting in the sense that, you know, the basic theory is that people have trouble during achieving these first two stages of life, and that's ages 0 to 3 or 4. And that's exactly the point in Cyntoia's life that was just totally messed up. First of all, she lived with a number of different people. I mean, I was trying to keep track of the different caretakers, but I mean, there were 6 or 7 different people who took care of Cyntoia, and this meant comings and goings and separations, and at one point she was kidnapped by a family member, and she felt like she had been abandoned by the other mother. I mean, this is exactly the kinds of problems that would create failure to achieve the attachment and then the healthy separation. So I think it's possible to say that the criminal act was related to her personality disorder.
Borcher's got an interview you'll see only on News 5. Laura?
Jack, imagine sitting in jail for months on a false charge of rape. It happened to a Hamilton man. Now his ex-girlfriend is sitting behind these bars because she admits she made it all up.
More than 6 months ago, Duke University and the city of Durham, North Carolina were rocked by charges that Duke lacrosse players raped an exotic dancer at a team party. 60 Minutes correspondent Ed Bradley got exclusive interviews with the 3 players charged in the case, including former co-captain Dave Evans.
Do you ever think that if this does go to trial, that if you're convicted, you could face a lot of time in prison? Do you ever think about that?
Would you?
Sure.
Yeah. 30 years I could go to jail for something that never happens, based on a lie.
Ed Bradley's here with us this morning. Good morning, Ed.
Good morning, Hannah.
You spoke to all 3 of these young men. Are they scared? They've all said they're innocent.
I think that they do have some fear. As Dave says, he's looking at 30 years in prison for something he says he didn't do. Based on the evidence, they feel they shouldn't be in this position, so they feel confident that they're innocent. But having said that, they are in this position indicted based on evidence that they don't think should have put them there.